Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Abigail Salas.
And I'm Carpio Grego. Now, the NMSU football team is busy preparing for this weekend's rivalry game with the UNM Lobos, and now it looks like the band will be able to go too.
News 22's Jenny Hazlett has been following the story and has an update on the Pride band situation and if they will hit the I-25 on Saturday.
Thanks, Abby. That's right. With only 2 days before kickoff, many people are wondering if the Pride band will attend the rivalry game on Saturday. Earlier this week, NMSU's marching band was notified by UNM Athletics they would have to pay $20 per seat to play at the game. For years, NMSU and UNM have had a long-standing tradition of both marching bands attending the rivalry games for free. But this year, with UNM's demand the band must pay, things are different. So the NMSU's administration had to work things out quickly to get the funding for the 300-member band to be allowed into University Stadium this Saturday. NMSU's spokesperson Justin Bannister says because of generous alumni support and hard work from the athletics department, there is good news. With the official confirmation today, Aggie fans can expect to see this truck driving up I-25 this weekend.
In a statement to News 22, NMSU Athletic Director Mario Mocha says normally UNM gives a certain number of complimentary tickets, but those tickets are not for the band. He says this caught NMSU off guard.
It's not like this is not uncommon practice. It's just that it's a departure from what I would say is historical norms.
Since each ticket costs $18 and the Pride band has about 300 members, the total cost of the tickets is more than $5,000. That's in addition to money for buses and food. Mocha says 15 to 20 donors provided the money for the tickets.
Now, Mocha says the entire situation is resolved and there is no bitterness with UNM, adding that he hopes there is a big Aggie victory this weekend. NMSU's interim president will continue to serve on a month-to-month contract while the Board of Regents searches for a new permanent resident. Guja's 6-month interim contract expires on October 7th, and the board amended it to a month-to-month contract so he can continue as long as he's needed. Guj was appointed when former Chancellor Dan Arvisu's contract was not renewed last April. Well, Carpio, it seems like the weather finally calmed down.
I know, 90 degrees never felt so good, Abby. Alkari's next with a first look at your weather.
Thank you so much, Carpio. It is a beautiful day here in Las Cruces. For our skies, we're seeing mostly sunny and partially cloudy. Our temp is at 87, winds coming at you at 11 miles per hour from the west, humidity at 34%, dew point at 52 degrees, and a barometer at 30.02. Coming up at my next, for today's high, we have a high of 90, and an average of 89, a low of 63. And for our record highs, we had a high of 98 in 1998 and a low of 44 in 1959. And there's no chance of precipitation for today, and for a year, it's 3.38. And back to the desk.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's suspension of laws allowing the open or concealed carry of guns is on hold. A federal judge has blocked part of that public health order, and the governor's order was in response to recent Albuquerque shootings. Some law enforcement officers have refused to enforce the order. Gun rights advocates say it violates the Second Amendment, and Republicans say the governor should be impeached.
The International Organization for Migration says the U.S.-Mexico border is now the deadliest land route in the world for migrants. It saw over 600 deaths and disappearances in 2022. That's nearly half of the 1,500 migrant deaths and disappearances in the Americas last year. Now, 2022 was the deadliest year on record since the group started keeping track back in 2014. Most of the deaths and disappearances happened in the Sonoran and Chihuahuan deserts. The main causes of death include drowning, vehicle accidents, and the lack of shelter, food, and water.
Stay tuned, Alkari will be back with your national forecast.
Life's really fantastic when you're plastic. But first, a new way to track your pets. More on that when News 22 continues. Welcome back. You're watching News 22.
Where news matters.
More than 50,000 water bead toys sold at Target are being recalled. That's after one baby died and another was injured. The recalls for Chuckle and Roar Ultimate Water Beads activity kits from Buffalo Games. Affected kits include those sold nationwide, both in-store and online, from March to November of last year. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says if kids eat the beads, they end up getting bigger in their stomachs, which can cause intestinal obstruction. Well, we've heard about New Mexico weather. How about that national weather, Alkari?
Thank you, Carpio. So for our national forecast, we are getting a little bit cooler here in the evenings up in the northeast region, and then down you can see us, we're still hot. And for our next map, we are still in monsoon season 2, like I just said, and we are seeing precipitation in the north and then in the southwest. And for my last but not least map, still, you know, we're seeing a lot of rain coming down to the southeast, and I will be back with your local temps right after the break. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alkari Shirsat, and I'm here with your current local temps. And in Farmington, we're at 69, in Gallup, 61, Santa Fe, 67, Socorro at 81, just like Albuquerque, and 88 in Deming. Taking a look for tomorrow's temps, Farmington we have at 75, Gallup 74, sorry, 74 for Santa Fe, Albuquerque 80, and 91 for Deming. For tonight's temperature for Alamogordo, it's going to be a low of 57 and tomorrow a high of 88. Tonight for Truth or Consequences, we have a high of 57 and tomorrow a high of 89. And then Silver City, tonight we have a low of 53 and tomorrow a high of 83. And last, we have Las Cruces. Tonight it's going to be 61 and tomorrow a high of 91. Back to the desk.
And Jose Munoz is next with sports.
Thanks, Abigail. Coming up in sports, the NMSU Women's have the spotlight tonight. You can toss that remote because News22 Sports is next.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Jose Munoz, and let's talk sports. The NMSU women's soccer team looks to bounce back from an upsetting loss to UNM as they travel to Los Angeles to play the Trojans. The Aggies look to upset USC, who are ranked 20. This is the second Pac-12 team the Aggies have faced, but this time they are the ones traveling. This is the first time the two programs have faced each other, as the Aggies don't return home until Sunday to play Louisiana Tech at 1 p.m. The women's volleyball team looks to continue their winning ways this weekend at the Wildcat Classic in Tucson, Arizona. The Aggies have swept their last 3 matches, being Illinois State, Miami, Ohio, and St. Louis. Their next matchups include Alabama State and Arizona on Friday and Long Beach State on Saturday before coming back home. The next home game for the Aggies will be their Conference USA debut against Middle Tennessee at 7. The NMSU women's golf team is now on the road to Madison, Wisconsin for the Badger International after having success in the Golf Week Fall Challenge. The Aggies held the 4th spot for the first 2 days and ended placing 3rd behind UNC Wilmington and Lipscomb. One premier performance came from Emma Bunch, who finished 2nd place individually. The Aggies tee off Sunday with UTSA and Augusta in their group of the tournament's opening round. NMSU women's tennis is starting their season with the Aggie Invitation this weekend, competing with athletes from UTEP, Western New Mexico, and Abilene Christian. Doubles play begins Friday at 10 a.m., while singles play is not until after finals of doubles matches each day of the Invitational. The Aggies have 5 returning players and will debut a new trio of Daniela Herrera, Varvar Nicarla, and Whitney Moon. All of the action will be right here on campus at the Aggie tennis courts. Rob Bartz has added a top soccer player from El Paso to his roster to don the crimson and the white. Franklin High School junior Aislinn Thompson has given the Aggies a verbal commitment. Thompson will be joining the fellow El Paso committee, Daniela Portillo, from the Mountwood High School. Thompson's stat line, 9 goals and 8 assists, led to winning both District 1 6A and by-district championships. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action next week. Still ahead on News22. Take a look at our 5-day forecast, but first, let the dogs out. More on that when News22 continues.
Welcome back. 2 excited and adorable fans caused a rough moment at a high school soccer match in Minot, North Dakota, and it was all caught on camera. The Minot High Magicians were taking on the Jamestown Blue Jays Tuesday night when 2 dogs ran out on the pitch. Officials paused the game for a minute, which was just enough time for one pooch to get a belly rub. But the dogs quickly went on their way and the game resumed. Now, Kari, what's that weekend weather looking like?
So mostly sunny with the chance of thunderstorms. We have highs of 80s throughout the week and weekend, and mid-60s for our lows.
And that's all we have for News22 Thursday. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tune in next week for more news. Have a great weekend. I'm Carpio Grego.
And I'm Abigail Salas, and from the whole News22 team, Carpio, Akari, Jose, and myself, good night.
This news brief in Espanol is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Buenas tardes. Gracias por acompañarnos en Noticias 22. Mi nombre es Aira Sánchez y estas son las breves de hoy. Mientras el equipo de fútbol de NMSU se ha estado preparando para el juego contra los Lobos este fin de semana en Albuquerque, acompañando al equipo de los Aggies es la banda Pride. Y en los últimos 2 días, Noticias 22 les ha informado que habrá un cargo contra la banda Pride de NMSU para entrar al estadio. Esa notificación fue por parte del Departamento de Atletismo de la Universidad de Nuevo México en Albuquerque. Por años, las 2 universidades han permitido que ambas bandas puedan tocar en el juego de esta rivalidad. Pero después de 3 días de no saber si iban a poder levantar los fondos, hoy más de 15 alumnos de NMSU y de la banda donaron más de $5,000 para la entrada, acordando con el vocero de NMSU, Justin Bannister. La banda está formada por más de 300 miembros y acordando con el director de atletismo de NMSU, Mario Mocha, la Universidad de Nuevo México en Albuquerque da un cierto número de boletos complementarios, pero en esta ocasión la banda no estaba incluida. También comentó que en el mundo del fútbol universitario esta situación no es común, pero fue algo inesperado para NMSU. El costo final para los boletos será de $18, entonces el costo total sería de alrededor de $5,400 por todos los miembros de la banda Pride. Eso es todo por mi parte, gracias por acompañarnos.